2019 when I was pregnant actually with my son. At that point of time, I was like walking to work and I was pregnant, and I was telling God this, there are a lot of people that was giving testimonies after testimonies, of how God have provided them financially in their work, like in terms of promotions and stuff like that. And I told God, I'm having a child, I'm going to have a child soon. I know, I trust you, I trust in you that you will provide. But I really want this experience. I really want to have that promotion, At that point of time when after I said that, this thought popped up in my head, which was after birth, go for course, get a cert, and leave the company. And at that point of time, I was thinking, I was like, that seems possible. I don't know how I should go about it, but yeah, that seems possible. I did toy of the idea of going for a certification before, but I was pregnant, I was easily tired, so I did hesitate for a while. And when I had that thought in mind, and not long after that, my superior or my supervisor came to me, and then she came and then she was like, "Hey, Abby, after you give birth, do you want to go for a certification?" Then I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, the immediate reaction, to me was, "Oh, give birth, go for course, get cert, and leave the company." That was the first thing that popped up in my mind. Like, oh, okay, let's go for a cert, After that, and I was like, I agreed to it, and my supervisor was willing to go through that effort, to help me to get a school, to get a class. January 2020, I gave birth. COVID started happening, There was a lot of news going about and restrictions because of COVID. My supervisor had a hard time trying to get a school and a course, for me. Because, okay, so it was delayed. It came in about August. On the day that my first lesson was to start, I suddenly realized that the administration of the school placed me in the wrong class. I was like, oh no, I have to extend, push back. And in the end, the administration offered me a full day course on a Saturday, and it's either that or you push back. And I was like, okay, God, you help me to pull through this whole course. You help me to go through it, you give me strength. And I accepted the weekend course. I went through it smoothly. I passed up my final assignment 1 month later, and then I waited for the results and the cert. I had no news from school, no news from anywhere, and I waited and I put it aside. I was still toying with the idea that I will still leave the company at the end of the year. But because I didn't have my cert yet, I cannot leave. Mid of November, I received a message from my classmates saying that the results are out. I passed with flying colors. During that period of time where I was still waiting for the cert, after the results, I was also having this issue of putting my son in school because my mom was elderly, and she's getting tired of taking care of my son that is very active. So we're thinking of putting my son in a school, but where, if I need to switch a job to another school, then I will have to place my son in another school. So where should we place my son? And so finally, me and my husband had a final decision that we should place my son in my current school where I am, until I find another job. 1st of December, my boss came in to coming to me and my colleagues, and then she gave me an official letter. The school is closing down because of some issues, and I was like, huh? I never thought of it because we all thought the school will be going on for another maybe 1 year or 2 years or so, and it was pretty sudden. My first thought was about that I'm going to lose the job. My son have no school, and the worst of all is that I haven't got my cert, and without a cert it's a bit harder for me to find a job. And so I was like, okay, now how? So I went home and I prayed. I told God, you watch over me, right? You provide me a course, and I passed, and now my school is closing. You provide me with a job and a school for my son. That after that night I prayed, the next day classmate called me up again saying that she found out that the cert was ready to be collected. And I was like, I didn't receive any phone call, and so I called up the administration of the school, and then I asked if my cert is ready, and she was like, okay, I'll get back to you later. And that night I received an email saying that my cert was ready and I can collect anytime. The next day I was like, oh, I rushed down to collect my cert, and I had my cert. I gave it to my supervisor to send it up to the government. That day, my principal also told me there's a lot of vacancy of slots in this certain company, and why not, you just send your resume in and apply for it. I was like, oh, okay, good. So I went and applied for the company, and the very next day they contacted me and asked me for an interview on that Monday. I was like, everything in the interview was very smooth. It's as though the company wanted to hire me even before I started the interview. I also asked this question to the interviewer, and say, if I were to place my son, can I place my son in any school? He said, anytime, any outlet of the school that you want, you can place the school. And I was like, to me, that was a very good news. I have a job, I have a rise in my salary, I have a school for my son, and that was all answered prayer, my answered prayers, from God. That night, they just called me and said, I will confirm you, because to me that shows that God watches over me all the way from the beginning since 2019, and He knows what is going to happen at the end. He paved that road, for me. He watches over me step by step all the way since 2019 till now. I'm very grateful, that God loved me so much, and He watches over me. He is faithful, and all that He is and all that we are. What I want to say is that, this is the God that I trust in. This is the God that is real, and He proved to be one that is faithful and loving to each and every one of us. And I hope that you will come to know this God that I believe in. Follow this website that we have, and anything that you can call us to, that we can help you in, and we hope that you can also find this one true God.